Hello friends, I have already started the lecture on the Python with the help of the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so in last lecture I have discussed with the what is the Raspberry Pi and what are the pin configuration in the Raspberry Pi. And apart from that, we have already also discussed what are the main components are required in order to build a Raspberry Pi platform and which can be used for IoT application, right? Uh, Apart from the Raspberry Pi kit and the kit, we will need some other external devices. So in while I discussed the pin configuration of the Raspberry Pi, so that time I have already told some port numbers are there. Uh, Through this port, we can connect the various external device. Okay, so here are the some external devices which are required to connect if you want to build the IoT protocol. Okay, so first is the monitor, so like your desktop or PC, micro SD card which will store the data, keyboard and mouse to operate the desktop, HDMI cable is required if you want to connect the Raspberry Pi with the monitor, right? And power supply is also required to give the power supply to Raspberry Pi, right? So these are the components are required. Also you can connect the external memory with the Raspberry Pi also. And so the how we have to install the Raspberry Pi, that I'm not going to discuss because this is direct instruction or point to point instructions are already available in internet. If you click on this thing, if you go to this link, you will get the each and every instruction how you have to install the Raspberry Pi. So this is a little bit complex process and time taking, but you have to follow one by one instruction. If you follow the one by one instruction, you can easily will get some idea how to install the Raspberry Pi and how can you write the code Python. Okay, so if you know the Python concept, the code is very much simple. Okay, you have to know the Python concept and the Raspberry Pi pin configuration. And if you know the how to write the IoT code in Arduino, so the concept and logic is similar to write any code in the Raspberry Pi, but the syntax that will be little bit different because here you are using the Python on Raspberry Pi. So you have to configure the Raspberry Pi pin configuration in the code. Okay. So here you can see this is the Raspberry Pi code, and here I am showing you the LED blinking program. And for that you need to connect one LED, and if the limited amount of current is flow through, for that the resistor is required. So normally cathode you can connect the resistor and the ground. In anode you have to connect the anode pin with the corresponding GPIO pin. Okay, and other power supply connections are already there. So this not discussing. Okay, uh, so here I have mentioned, suppose I have already told that the GPIO pin number and the board pin number are not same. Okay, so suppose the LED underscore pin is equal to 12. That means it is configuring, that is the board pin number 12, not GPIO pin number 12. So if you write the GPIO pin number, so for that in this instruction will be little bit different. That I will discuss later. Okay, so first we'll discuss the code. Here input time that I have also discussed while you have discussed the Python on Arduino. Okay, so if you want to write the delay time, you need to import the import time library. Okay, if you want to write the delay time. Okay, so import time, this package you have to install, and then import RPI means Raspberry Pi. So name of the Raspberry Pi, that name of the package is Raspberry Pi. So from the Raspberry Pi, if you want to call the GPIO configuration, so you have to write rpi.gpio. Okay, you have to write rpio. So in entire code you can write, if you want to call the GPIO pin, you can directly write as rpi.gpio, but this will be little bit complex if you write this code. If you call this thing rpa.gpio in code, so your code will be look complex. Okay, so better you can name as a RPI dot GPIO as a only GPIO. So instead of RPI dot GPIO, instead of writing the RPI dot GPIO, you can directly write as a GPIO. Okay, so RPI dot GPIO, this I have already told the package or module name. So the board name, the port number 12, I have connected the LED. So this is LED underscore pin equal to 12. Okay, then so I have to I have to tell to GPIO configuration that this 12 number pin is associated with the board pin number, not the GPIO pin number. Okay, so GPIO dot set mode within bracket GPIO dot BCM. Okay, so the whatever board pin I have configured, so I have to mention the this is not GPIO pin, this is the GPIO board pin. Okay, Raspberry Pi board pin. So GPIO function should be associated with the board pin number GPIO dot. So you have to configure the pin numbering, whether it is GPIO pin or broad pin, board pin. Okay, GPIO dot BCM. Now, so what is the my LED pin? It is output pin or it is input pin? Okay, so every function, set mode, setup, everything, output, input, everything is associated with the GPIO library. Okay, so GPIO dot setup, it's like a Arduino program only. Okay, GPIO dot setup LED pin. So this LED pin pin number 12 should be the output pin. Okay, out function is associated with the GPIO library. So GPIO dot out. Okay, now now we'll think about the main program. I have to send the logic 1 or logic 0 through the LED. Okay, so for in Arduino you have seen that so there is a one void loop function. Okay, if that program should be execute infinite times, you have to write the code in void loop function, but here there is no concept of the void loop function, only the while true. If you want to execute the set of instruction in infinite terms, you have to write the instruction under the while true syntax. Okay, while loop, while true. Okay, this process will be continue infinite times. That's why true. The GPIO dot output. So I'm sending the logic 0. That's why in normally in case of the Arduino, if you want to send the data, we used to write like a write function. Okay, just suppose Arduino dot write or anything dot write like this way. Analog dot write like this way. But here you have to write, instead of writing, you have to use the output function. Okay, so GPIO dot output, within this function you have to pass the variable. One is the LED number and the value, logic 1 or logic 0. So everything under the GPIO, that's why you have to every time you have to call refer the GPIO module. Okay, so LED pin comma GPIO dot high. Okay, and then the logic high value should be sustained for a some time. Okay, that's why time dot sleep within bracket 1, it will be sustained for 1 second. Okay, the sleep function that can under the time there will be various function, but to give the pulse time, okay, to give the delay time, you have to call time dot sleep. Okay, time dot sleep within bracket 1. Okay, then I have to send the logic 0. Same way, same set of instruction. So GPIO dot output LED pin. So here I am sending the logic 0, that's a low. GPIO dot low. Okay, so I am sending the logic 0 function. So then the logic 0 value, the value will be turned off for a 1 second. Again it will be continue the same thing, turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off, like this way. So time dot sleep, time dot sleep, again this one, then again it will go back to here only, because then it is written under the while true function. Okay, then again it will go back to here only, right? So I think it is clear for all of you. So if you need to use the GPIO pin, you have to write the code accordingly. Okay, so for both pin if you have mentioned, then you have to configure the GPIO pin configuration, set mode GPIO dot p. So two libraries are there, import time and import RPI dot GPIO, right? So next class I will discuss the LED, same code, same aim, but here LED will be turn on, turn off, but in that case, so how we can bright the LED slowly. Okay, brightness of the LED can be controlled. Okay, how can you write the code using the Raspberry Pi? LED fading or LED brightness, this I'll discuss in the coming lecture. So I hope it is, the entire thing is clear for you. If anything is related to Raspberry Pi installation, you can write on the comment section. I'll try to make a lecture regarding this. So thank you. Please like, share and subscribe my channel.